Hi everybody, it's Sheena here. Well look, isn't this nice? It does not have all the trimmings or any ornaments on it yet, but I decided to put up a Christmas tree. I kind of debated, you know, I live alone. I don't really have any reason to put up a tree, but then I've been in the mode of decluttering, and so I was out in the garage making space for digging. I've been filming on my phone because the picture quality is way better than my iPad. So my iPad is a couple years old, so I'm dealing with that. And the picture is grainy, so I always think, oh, it's my lighting, it's really bad, but it tends to be my picture. Anyway, so I got to thinking about, the Christmas tree. I had one out in the garage when I was clearing things out, digging my ditches, expecting rain, waiting for a vehicle to come into my life. And I just decided that, yeah, I was going to bring the tree in, and so I did, and the tree and I had a battle. It was pretty lit, and half of it was burned out, and the top was completely dead. So I spent last night undoing around the top of the tree, and then I just cut and pulled the rest of it, but there were all these little tabs on there, and it was kind of tough. Anyway, my point being is I have been doing some really hard work lately, and for the first time in a long time, I've become the student again, other than, being the student of whatever it was that I was reading and teaching myself, being a student of whatever mentor that, wrote the book, like, Wayne Dyer, people like that, a lot of the Hay House publications, reading up on different types of healing and food. So, I haven't, been a student, like sat in the presence of somebody where I've gone to them to gain that real deep soul work, a career coach or a life coach. I hadn't done that. I have spent the last couple of years working through things, through the cancer with social workers at the hospital, and also that's patient navigators, working with all of those, being taught how to navigate and do something specific. But now I'm at this point where I have, I'm changed. I'm really super changed. Like, now that I'm near the end of this journey, the changes that are awakening in me are, and that's hit the nail on the head. I'm doing a workshop that was offered by the Practice for Women with Michelle Long, and somehow, I don't know, I got invited to the group, and I don't even remember accepting the invite or who invited me or what, but I'm glad I was part of it for a while, and then I watched, the live video links pop up for a bit, I think a couple of months, and then finally I hopped on, and it was perfect soul timing, because now that I'm, no evidence of disease, I have one final surgery, one final healing period to go through from the cancer journey, that there is this deep inner shaken upness within me that is, it's a different place than I was before. And the workshop that I'm doing she talks about that, the awakening, and that's that hit the nail on the head for me. Um, and this is really deep soul work, and literally beating cancer, having the success of the having the reconstruction be a success, and having the improvement in my mental health from that is beyond amazing. And so I have felt the need. I've been shifting, and this was really hard for me. My world was flipped upside down, completely turned around the way I was accustomed to living life. There was a lot of hard choices. It was a lot of heart aching events. And, nonetheless, there's that quote that, you never know how brave you are, and, and you're stronger than you think you are. And I should memorize it, but it is so true. You really don't ever know how strong you are until you have to. And to pass forward, what's that inner will to live and that drive? And, to me, it's really to serve God and to serve others and to have the means to do it. I'm grateful for this second lease on life, but there's been this deep awakening. I've once again stepped into the path of becoming a student. I have found it's just so cool these days because there's this whole world of teachers out there online. And I guess I would say in some ways I just organically found, these teachers in my life, and these badass women that do amazing things. And it, even if it's online time, and, I'm, whatever, just sitting in a Zoom meeting or on a Facebook Live, it is amazing to see, to have that understanding and to sit in connectedness again, with others, and finding networks. I've, had these really cool women come across my life, and I've already talked about, right now I'm in the thick of doing the program is called Liberated, with Michelle Long, and it's leading into this larger package she's talking about called Emergence. And I really like that, because this feels like an emergence, and we talk about all the time in that practice and in the group. And what do we have to let go of to move forward? And I've had to humble myself in a lot of ways. I've had to let go of old ways. I mean, the cancer brought me to my knees and took everything away from me that I had. Everything except for my faith and my fur babies. And, and the ripple effects of it are still here. And I 100% want to be on the other side of this. Like, this is a hurry up and wait situation. But I have to do the steps. And, that's one thing that I'm really taking out of the teachers that I've found, and, across my radar. And I don't even know how, whatever. I mean, I know that Facebook and stuff picks up algorithms, and whatever an algorithm is, series of ones and zeros, I don't know. But I ended up coming across some ladies that I enjoy really watching. There's the first one was Michelle Long, and like I said, it has this soft energy and presence to it. It's a calming and grounding space for me. I really like that. We did meditation today, and the color red kept coming to me, and that's, your root chakra and your feelings of security and all of that. And it's no wonder that that came to me, because it's my life has been in survival mode for over 2 years now, and in many, many ways, as much as I wish it wasn't, it still is. And that's hard, but yet I'm gaining clarity. I'm starting to feel better physically. I'm feeling better emotionally. I'm feeling better spiritually. I feel, this huge longing to be connected to spirit, and, connected to God, and to, do his work. And I don't know. I mean, I embarked upon this mission of sharing, out of a need to, I guess, well, I don't know. My background is in public relations and fundraising, and, so I took my story out there to, gain support for some causes, ask for almsgiving. I mean, isn't that what crowdfunding is? And asked for those out there around me to help me. And I really needed it. And I can't tell you the times that a donation has come in on GoFundMe, and my mind is just blown, because it's so timely and necessary. But I also deal with, putting, I sit here and looking back, I've put it out there to share my experience, in order to do crowdfunding. That's what got me going in all of this stuff, and sharing my cancer journey. And then, I don't know, there just became this, I guess, in the pandemic times, this comfort of sharing my story with others. Like, I was sitting down talking to people, and I had a story to tell, an experience I was going through, and I know that I'm always attracted to other people's stories, and I really enjoy hearing their paths. And I find always inspiration somewhere in there. Or the other night, last night I went to Lessons and Carols at our sister church in Montello, Wisconsin, and the Christmas program. And I rode with this gal that goes to my church, and she's funny. She calls me her quirky friend, but I really like her. Her name is Bernie, and something I learned about Bernie was that she and her husband had owned many, many businesses throughout the years. And that was just, I loved it. So I find when I hear other people's stories, and this was also pointed out today in the Liberated Day 3, that, we find sharing our stories, we find we can relate to tidbits of ourselves in those stories, and it's so true. And I have found always my greatest hope in other people sharing their stories of hope, and of trust and belief, and and that's the hardest part for me right now, is the trust and the belief. But I'm trying not to be discouraged. So I'm doing that hard work and following these phenomenal women, and given the opportunity to participate. I mean, Ms. Long is doing this workshop, it's free to everybody, and the advice is so amazing. And she also works with meditation, and I've been needing to be taught. And I did mention the quote that, yesterday or the day before, if you watch my videos, if you ever get through them all, that, there's that old saying that says that, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And, I'm ready. I've been shaken up. This is a new beginning. I've always, for years, I've been so bad about it. All my life, I've thought when I grew up, I'd be this great Christmas card writer and keep in touch with people. Yeah, no, that didn't happen. So, but I decided now to make a new start, because I do feel, this isn't the first time that something big has came and shaken up my life before. Um, those of you that know me know that this goes all the way back to 2015 and my chronic pain, and a lot of those big these major like events. And you also know about when I had all of the skin issues and had to close my, and I decided to retire from my painting business and close up shop. And yeah, so it's really been a long journey. And, in those times when I needed healing, like from my skin condition, I sought out other things that, other forms of healing and prayer and faith. And during my my cancer journey, I'm really glad that I had all of those skills, plus the group. I want to call it group therapy, but I don't want to give it a weird stigma, because some people still have weirdness about saying therapy and mental health stuff and things like that. But I don't want to call it group therapy, but it was for in the pain clinic at UW-Madison for chronic pain. And the way you think about that and how you approach it, and learning to cope and grieving, and changing when you can't stay the same. And that is most certainly where I am at. I have most definitely, in my life before, my life hasn't been perfect. I've had struggled through some hard times, but this right now has been the most difficult, I would say the 100% most difficult journey that I've ever had to go through, and the longest. I am so tired of waiting, but we're almost done. So which leads me back to things about awakening and soul things. So I decided that, some of it was I had to balance my life. My life had just become crazy, and all it was work. And, that's all it pretty much still is. And, and I love to work. I love to create. I love to build. And obviously now I guess I, realize I love to tell my story. But that comes as no surprise. My bachelor's of arts degree is in communication arts. So I've always had an interest in people. And, my largest goal and mission is to serve God and do God's work. And, through that, be of service to others, that's it. When I look back on my life, I used to teach water aerobics and step aerobics and the yoga, and wow, I have all of these really amazing gifts to share, and I'm starting to do it again. And, and now one thing the other gift that I have is telling my story. It's very vulnerable telling my story, and it's also hard because it's internally hard. It's that inner part of me that does not, sometimes I don't care to go to those places. But we need to go to those places, and I'm being reminded of that in this 3-day workshop. It's easier just to stuff what needs to be tended to than it is to actually hear the louder message, pay attention to that gut feeling. So anyway, with heading forward and deciding that, things in my life needed to shift again, all of a sudden, boom, this Liberated workshop showed up. So there are replays available. So if any of you ladies out there would like to take look at these replays, I would love to send them to you. I know that I've been sharing the links with some of you ladies via Facebook and stuff. So I hope that you have a chance to hop on if you're feeling that need for a calling, and just fill out what's right for you. And I like to fill out those facets. But anyway, back to the whole point of the start of this post, sitting here in front of the tree. It feels good. I needed to have a little bit of Christmas in my heart and feel good about it. And Christmas trees do bring me joy. It's been hard because it brings back a lot of the feelings and the memories of the last several years. Around Christmas can also be a time of loss. A lot of us lose people during this time. It's also a time of reminiscing about happy Christmases that I remember and not tripping myself up, being sad that I don't have that or that my life didn't turn out the way I thought it would be. I mean, never did I think that I'd be 48 and alone and sitting in the front of a Christmas tree by myself. I always imagined big dinners around a big table in a big house, and but I have had that too, and I should just be thankful I have this damn roof over my head, and I'm very grateful for that. Again, a shift. So despite all of what I knew that could come up as shit, I decided I needed to do this. I needed to do it for me. I needed to participate fully in, the practice of, attending to church and going to, all of the Christmas related activities that I can, because, that's what Christmas is about. And, plus I'm going through all of this change and everything in my life, and everything's about to be different again, and everything is still so undetermined, and I have many prayers being answered, but yet I have many prayers still needing to be answered. And it's beautiful watching it unfold, and I'm glad that I'm stepping forth and that things have, the universe has had synchronicity with what I needed. It was provided. And some of that is in the form of watching other people that teach and heal. And, I'm in my reset button's been flicked. It's a reset mode. And I think it's all right. I have to reset, because if I don't, and that's, been this whole whatever. I don't know. I didn't know when I started this and when I started talking about my journey if I was going to live, if I was going to die. I didn't know how I was going to respond to treatment. And I surely didn't think it was going to take 2.5, almost 3 years to finish this whole entire journey of healing from cancer. Especially after I was just at the tail end, and it takes 5 to 7 years to rebuild a nerve sheath. And from the surgery I had in 2015. So when I got to that end I waited the 7 years to be safe, and was ready to swing a golf club, and then I got the breast cancer. So then another challenge. Like, my goodness. So, yeah, I'm glad that I have the tools that I have, the group therapy at the pain clinic, learning how to cope and manage, and, different ways of meditating. It's so different. I've always studied this stuff, and sat, with others, but it has been, I'm trying to think, whenever I got my Reiki certification, and, back in, I don't know, I'll have to go look, but that's the last time that I've held, a really strong and powerful sacred space with women that are doing phenomenal shifts and bounds and leaps, and doing deep soul work instead of, I mean, there's different levels, and I mean, you can break it down, and I know that we're more complicated than each level, but, working on that soul level, working on the business level, um, and finding that motivation and finding, right now I'm just in a place where I need to find the encouragement and the wake up and the push to do the steps that need to be done, to put in the hard work and make it happen, because I've come this far through the journey and I can't let it go. So I put up the Christmas tree. I wrote Christmas cards out to the people I have addresses for and the people that I could find. If you want to be on my Christmas card list, just send me a message or an email with your address, and I will be happy to send you out a Christmas card while supplies last, and put you on my card list, because I'm going to do that. I can enjoy my own tree by myself. I like that. And every day gets better and better, and I like that. So I hope you are all very well. I thank you for watching and listening to me. But this tree means something. This is the shift. And it is a reminder of days gone past and olden days of yore. And it's also a reminder of the season. And I'm thankful to be here. I'm thankful to be a student once again, and to be venturing down this different path of learning and healing in all different kinds of ways, and using my my experiences being a business owner and an entrepreneur, and having that all, it's also tightly connected. And I find that it's so different owning your own business, because you don't want to go to work and come home and just sit and be. You always want to be creating and building something. And that's what being a business owner is about. And that's why I have always been in business for myself. It has not been an easy road, though. It has been really, really hard. And I've really learned a lot of things the hard way. But now I've been forced to go back to simple and doing things the simple way. And so I'm starting simple. I've got a tree and some lights. No Christmas ornaments. I have no idea what happened to all of my Christmas ornaments. But I got the tree. All back to the point, because I'm in this point where I want to just rid myself of all sorts of things. I'm going through things like a mad woman, like baggage that I've carried around for years, I don't know. I have Rubbermaid bins full of things that for some reason I felt the need to hang on to. And I'm starting to go through that stuff and just purge everything. And I want to really simplify my life. I have this really deep inner longing to do that. And, it's time. And I know that when this happens, and I know that when I'm put in conjunction with other healers and teachers and guides and, people of faith and people that do hard work and are constantly in service to others and doing that work that helps others become the best and greatest versions of themselves for themselves and others. Like, wow, it becomes powerful. And yeah, I needed to step back for some more schooling so that I could come back and, share with you what I've done. But rather than just taking the training and then coming back when I've got all my shit figured out, we've been journeying this through my experience. So you've been along the ride with me from day one. And here we are. Okay. So, yeah, I talked about a lot today, but the Christmas tree is important. I decided that I should do it. I've also decided to declutter, because I need that to shed those layers of what I feel is holding me down. And for some reason, and I don't have a lot of stuff, but I have too many clothes. I think that's one thing I'm getting rid of. But then the problem is when I get rid of clothes, then that means that I just make room for new clothes. Like, right? Ah. Anyway, no, I have this need for things just to be organized, sanitary. I don't know. I think I've been spending too much time around the hospitals and too many infections, and having to make sure that I'm protecting myself against germs and, but yeah. So I'm just proud of my Christmas tree, and I wanted to share it with you all. I like it. I like it a lot. Yes, my tree. So we'll see if I can get a good shot. This will be a good selfie. All right. The tree, Christmas tree, we associate that with the coming of our Savior, Jesus Christ. And, it also has a lot of meaning to me in all sorts of ways too. And all of us, we have how we remember our Christmases throughout the years and what Christmas means to us now. But it feels good. And this is part of me taking small steps to live life fully, to not just work, but to step back and enjoy the things that I enjoy. And even if that means enjoying them by myself, I'm going to do it. Now, I really had thoughts about reserving my spoons and my energy because I had to battle with this tree. It was pre-lit, and that sucked. Having it pre-lit was awful, and all the bulbs were broke, and everything was horrible, and so I spent time, and you can tell the middle of the tree looks bare. This is an artificial tree, and I think it lost half of its needles. Anyway, so I pulled all of the old dead lights off of this sucker and put new ones on. So I wanted like all blue ones, but this is what I ended up with, was multicolored. All right. I think I will go now. That is just me sharing. And so you're going along the journey with me. So before, I've gone through journeys of healing, training, things like that. And then I've come to you and I've shared with you the skills like the yoga and the breathing, the fitness side of things. And so, and I'm still continuing to do that. But now what's different is, I'm a storyteller, and I've been taking you along the experience and the exploration of a part of this human life through my lens, through my feelings, through my vulnerability. And I don't know, I feel right sharing it with the world, even though sometimes I feel vulnerable. Okay, I feel vulnerable all the time, but I want to hope that it inspires others and gives them hope, and that by watching me do the hard work and take the steps, that they'll be inspired to do the same, to become the best versions of themselves, even if they do step back. And the strongest leaders, the best teachers, they are continuously learning. Anyway, yeah. This and all these other things I've learned from having cancer, which I already knew, which was that these are all an innate truth. But, things are different now. My lens that I see the world through is different. Okay, well, I'm going to go. I'm hungry and I'm tired, so I want to wash my face. I want to eat, and I want to go to bed. Yes, a lot of rest is still essential. Okay, it's Sheena Collins with, I was just about to say Bad Drink Fool. That's my podcast. But it's Sheena Collins with Sheena Strong here. So, and Sheena Strong is my mission to, be a resource and information, just be, Sheena Strong is to disperse information to improve your lives as far as health and cancer and chronic pain, and also for me to share my journey and what I'm doing, and yeah, and whatever. So it's a way that I've been able to be encouraged. Okay. I love you all, my friends. Thanks for hopping on and watching the videos and seeing what's up. We'll talk again soon, of course. I can't keep my mouth shut for long. Nothing's changed my entire life. But I've got my tree, and I'm happy. All right. Bye. Peace and love. Merry Christmas.